Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a reading for Cancer. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And Two of Cups, beautiful energy, very lovely energy, very strong energy. We're going to put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Finishing up, Path of the Serpent here. Very strong, very balanced energy right now. Let's do a mystery card real quick. I can't wait to get into this. This seems really nice. We're going to use the Waitsmith for our mystery card, our bonus card. And this is the card that we're going to set down right here. We're going to put the frog on top. We're not going to look at it until the very end. All right. And hopefully it will, tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. So we've got major arcana, major arcana, major arcana. So this is this is a kind of an interesting triad right here with these three majors. And then we've got some fire, some air, some water, and some water. We got some water, we got some air. We don't really have a lot of earth. The earth that we have is more subtle earth, okay? And we see a little bit of that, excuse me, in the Four of Wands. That's kind of some earthy kind of energy, a little bit. We see some earth also in this major arcana, the Devil card. This is the fire of the earth, right? This is our ability to take our creativity and make changes in the external world, right? Just through sheer impulse, power, resolve, endurance, right? But what we're starting with today is this Two of Cups. Very beautiful, joyful energy. This is a sharing of love between two things, between you and yourself, you and the universe, you and another person, you and your creative projects, you and whoever you kind of answer to, right? If it's your higher self, God, goddess, deity. We do have this fire energy that's coming on top of this Two of Cups, right? So this is, I think, you're able to find joy everywhere. I really think that you're in a period of your life right now where you just want as much joy and pleasure and good feelings and harmony and resonance, right, as you can find. And I think that, if it doesn't have those qualities, you're not interested, right? That you only want to do things that really bring you that kind of joy and that sense of beauty and love. You want to surround your house with these lovely things. You want to surround your life with lovely people. I feel like you don't want any kind of negative energy right now. And that's Five of Swords in the position of what we don't want. We don't want that. We don't want that negative energy. We want peace. We want harmony. We want love and joy and beauty. We want elation, right? We want peace and quiet, yes, but as our baseline, right? Our peace and quiet is our home base. We want joy. We want abundance. We want elation. We want exaltation. And I feel like this is kind of this is a driving force right now, right? We're trying to connect with whatever we can that has this. So we have this really keen aesthetic sense. We have this really strong sense of what we like, what we prefer, right? And it's all aimed upward at this 9, right? The 9 of Cups kind of above us. This is what we're doing all of this for. We're focused on making ourselves happy. This is our time. We're just about to move into Cancer season, for our birthday month. And we just want love and joy and kindness. We want to be able to pursue our happiness. And, we talk about happiness a lot with this particular card, the Nine of Cups. But I don't think happiness really is, it's not a very exact word for this, This is the feeling of being spiritually activated. This is the feeling of being healthy and feeling good physically. This is feeling good emotionally, right? Being joyful and happy and elated, that kind of love feeling. This is about feeling creative. This is about feeling holy, feeling connected with spirit, feeling like there is a divine energy in your life now. This is you really wanting to achieve that feeling of doing your will, of pursuing your happiness. That's the feeling of it. That's the joy of the aspiration. It's almost, it's almost like the overwhelming emotion you get like looking at the night sky or something, or looking at a beautiful piece of art or hearing a beautiful piece of music that almost brings you to tears, right? That's these two cards together. And that's what we're looking for in life, and that's what we're going to get, right? Because what are we doing? We're taking charge. We are, we're admitting the existence of a higher authority. And now it could be a part of our own mind, our own conscience, our own true self, or guardian angel, or spirit guides, God, goddess, deity. Whatever it is, we are willfully submitting to this higher energy that's coming through us, right? So don't think that I'm advocating any kind of supplication to anyone who's trying to control you or manipulate you. No, this is us making our own decisions and sticking to them. This is about us being in charge, or about our higher self being in charge, right? Whatever you want to call it, whatever terms we want to use for that energy. It is our own higher authority. And it is a real strength to commit to this path of love, right? We have all this water energy. We need a little bit of fire to kind of keep it motivated, keep it boiling, right? A little bit of heat underneath it. And that's this Emperor energy. And I think this is us really taking control, taking leadership of our lives, right? And I think in some way this does allow for us to acknowledge this higher power and to submit ourselves to it, whether it is viewed as a god, goddess, a deity, God with a capital G, or if this is guardian angel, if this is higher self, whatever you choose to acknowledge. Okay, we're very universal here. We're very non-sectarian here. Okay, I believe in energy. And I believe that this energy can be called many, many different things. And we're choosing to call that energy Emperor energy, love energy, pursuit of happiness energy, right? It's all energy. It's just different colors of it, right? So there's this authority in us now. We're starting to really take charge and find our kind of guiding principles. And what's that leading us to other than intense action? This is maybe our tendency to get a little carried away, right? We might get a little bit carried away with things, with anything that has this water energy to it. We kind of have the tendency to go overboard with it. This Knight of Wands is someone who kind of like has to go out, like you get an interest in painting or something, right? You kind of catch that fire. You go out and buy all the paints, all the colors, all the brushes. You buy the fancy easel and the canvases. You get the painter's tarp. You can get the overalls or whatever. I don't know, the hat. You go all out, right? It's a little, you haven't even painted anything yet. We get a little carried away. Any kind of interest that we have, any of this water energy that we feel, we go full bore. We go 100%. We have to get all of the stuff to do it. Then we may do it for a day and think, I don't really like it. That's kind of part of our issue, I think. And that's represented here by that knight being carried away by something, And that's not a bad thing, but we need to bring it back to this. And that's another need for the Emperor here, to bring things back to home base, bring things back to this Four of Wands, which is some of this earth energy. It's us manifesting that fire energy into a certain project. So if this is, let's say you get the interest in painting or a musical instrument, you go out and buy all the sheet music, you buy lessons, you buy the instrument and all the little gadgets that go with it. You get all of the gear that you need for something. Because in that moment, this is the perfect manifestation of it. This is the perfect thing. So the fire, it's like we build a little circle of stones, and we light the fire in the middle, and we think, this is the best fire I've ever made. I don't need any other campfires. This is the one. I want to stay here forever. But the thing about campfires is that they're temporary. They're meant to be temporary, right? At the end of your camping trip or whatever, you extinguish the fire, and you put those stones back where you found them, and you sweep away your tracks. It's like we were never there. And it's the same thing with our enthusiasm, with our fire energy. We think this is the best thing that I've ever done. And it is for that moment. But it's also temporary. And so this lesson that we're learning with the fire and the water is about how to enjoy things in the moment for what they are, but not get so attached to them and not get too carried away with them that we think, this is the only thing I'm ever going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to sit here and paint with all of my painting supplies, and this is the feeling I have now, right? We're talking about the feeling of being in that pursuit. This feeling that I have now is never going to go away, and it's all about me and painting. Well, that's fine in the moment, and that's good. But it's a temporary thing. That outward manifestation of this fire with the Four of Wands here, that's going to change. And we're going to have to keep this aspiration, we're going to have to keep this feeling of holiness throughout all of our activities, and whatever kind of enthusiasm is coming next, whatever our next kind of pursuit is. And I think this is it's a very positive thing, because it's that feeling that we want, that feeling of being connected, that feeling of holiness, that feeling of our lives being consecrated to our highest ideal, our highest happiness and love, and to this water energy. Now, underneath everything, we've got this 6. This, I think, is your innate tendency to plan and organize. This is you catch this interest to do something, and you map it out. You write down everything that you need, you get a flow chart, you write it all. You haven't even done it yet, right? You just got the idea. You've planned it all out. You've created spreadsheets and reports and, essays on it and documents and all these research data and everything. We haven't even started yet, That's part of this kind of being carried away, right? Which is good. This is all really good energy. This is all really good energy. This is you doing the things that make you happy. And it's like the people around you, and we're going to kind of skip over here and go to this devil energy. The people around you may be a little bit intimidated by the degree of enthusiasm with which you go after stuff. When you catch this fire, when you have this feeling about something, and you go so hard with it, you go all in, it's kind of intimidating to other people in your life, I think, because you have a real intensity about you. When you're pursuing something that makes you happy, people better watch out, I think it does intimidate people a little bit because of how intense you can get, because of how focused you can get. This is really wonderful energy. I mean, look, I'm a Cancer too. I'm very excited for the next month. And I love this idea of finding those activities, again, with the understanding that they're not going to be permanent things. I mean, some might stick around longer than others, but it's not about the activity. It's about that feeling of holiness, feeling of connection and love and joy and elation that we get through those activities. What makes us feel like we're getting closer to divinity, right? That's what we're pursuing. And that is through these temporary manifestations. And when we find something that has that feeling for us, everybody is kind of shocked by how intense we can get, because we go all in. We get kind of carried away. We get all the supplies. We really do it up, to the nines, I think they say. Maybe we do it to the tens, but I like to the nines because there's the Nine of Cups. We skipped over this Princess of Cups here. This is just you trying new things. This is you taking this water energy and finding new little campsites to build your campfire. New little ways to manifest this water energy in your life. Because this is the earth of the water. So we're taking this water here and we're trying new things, right? We're seeing what other things we can do, new and novel things that have that feeling of holiness for us, that make us feel connected or make us feel like we're getting closer to divinity, or that we are activating that divinity, or whatever you want to say. We've got to try new things. We've got to continue to experiment. What gives us that feeling? What gives us that joy and beauty, that sense of holiness? What we don't want is negative energy. Get out of here, Five of Swords. The Five of Swords a lot of the time will come out this way, but today it's, what's technically right side up. I think this is upside down. This is negative energy. This is self-defeating thinking. This is arguing. This is the idea that we're in competition with something or someone. This is the feeling that we have to kind of do things better than anyone else, or that other people are kind of coming into this water work that we're doing, right? And interfering or making it a competition or making it about them. It's just any kind of negative energy that's coming into this really holy thing that you do, whether it's your art, whether it's your next project, whether this is some random interest that you kind of catch the fire for. Whatever these activities are, they're meant for you and for the establishing the experience of your own divinity. They're not for anyone else to come in and argue with you about, or tell you that you're doing it wrong, or try to tell you that you're being too intense. So you don't want this. You don't want the Five of Swords, and that's why it's in this position. Okay. The next card is this Art or Temperance card. I like the Art card here because this is it's the blending of the fire and the water into an artistic expression. It is the proper blending of the opposites, of the intense fire, enthusiasm, and the love, joy, the elation that results from this union. And this is the proper measure of things, right? This is knowing exactly what color paints you need and how to blend them together to create the perfect shade, to create your favorite color, right? You know exactly kind of how to blend all of this together. And this is the magic. This is the Philosopher's Stone. If you can discover how to blend your fire and water in perfect proportion, what kind of fire, what kind of water, if you can blend that all together in the right way, then that activity is going to give you that sense of holiness, that sense of divinity, that spiritual experience. That is the Holy Grail. That is the Philosopher's Stone. The substance, the combination of energies that can initiate that divinity, activate that feeling, that divinity, that spiritualizes the matter, spiritualizes the mundane, just the activity that you're doing, whatever, painting or a musical instrument, whatever it is. It could be anything. That is what makes it a holy experience, right? Is the blending of this fire and this water, this love and joy, this, again, that feeling of like being brought to tears at the beauty of something, right? And your fiery ambition and enthusiasm to immerse yourself in this water, in that feeling, for as long as you can. You want to keep that fire burning. We're staying at this campsite for as long as we can, but we know that it's temporary. But this blending is really the art of life, you know. And this is really, I think this is a beautiful reading for you, for me, for us, right? And I'm very excited for this, and it gives me encouragement to kind of begin doing those things that give me that sense of holiness, right? Discovering what they are and planning them. This card's kind of the discovery. The key word here is science, right? And what is science but discovery, you know? So first we have to kind of know what kinds of activities give us that sense of holiness. Well, then we got to do them, right? And I think we have to continue that process, the continual discovery and the continual participation. Let's look at the mystery card. I would love to see like the Chariot, which would be our patron card of Cancer, or the Empress. That would be beautiful. The High Priestess would be significant here, I think. You know, not only because she represents the full moon and the moon rules us as Cancers, but it also represents the influx of that spiritual energy, represents that spiritual experience. But let's see, I'm probably wrong. Yeah, we've got the Page of Cups, which is this card. This card, the Princess or Page of Cups, is the earthly expression of that water energy. Now, there's a flip side to the Princess of Cups or the Page of Cups. It is kind of just becoming a little bit too indulgent in those good feelings, you know, where we're mistaking sensuality or indulgence for holiness, you know, for that spiritual experience. It's just us satisfying desires, you know. So it's a fine line, and what is the measure here? How do we determine whether this is a true experience of divinity or if this is just us, like, you know, trying to satisfy desires or just indulging in things? Well, that's, you know, that's up to your discernment. That's part of this art energy. That's part of this Six of Swords energy down here. Is understanding, discovering what is the measure of that. But we have to, this is, you know, a repeat of this card, we have to continue to experiment. That's the scientific mind, right? If we discover what we think is the types of things that give us that feeling, then we have to try them out. Try different things, different combinations, different variables, different controls, and see how our experiment plays out. It's going to be a very, very fun month for us. But this is a timeless reading. If you happen to be watching this before or long after your solar return, your birthday, that's okay. This reading was meant to find you whenever you happen to be here watching this. Okay? And I do hope you'll leave me some comments. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you feel about this. I mean, to me, I feel that this is very exciting. There's a lot of hope here, a lot of opportunity here, you know. And this makes me very optimistic. I feel very hopeful for the next few weeks at least. I want to thank you again for being here. We're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, just click up here. That will give you access to all of the extended readings, not just Cancer, but for all of the signs. Thanks again for being here and for letting me read for you. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. there's a fish in the percolator.